What's going on, y'all? It's TKJ. Welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you for stopping by, man. Today I'm doing a realistic rebuild of the Charlotte Hornets. I'm doing a series here on this channel where I rebuild all the lottery teams. We're doing it in order. So I started off with the Spurs. You guys can find that video. It should be popping up here on the screen. And now we're here with the Hornets, man, where the goal is to win a championship within the first 3 seasons. If I can't do it there in that time, then the video won't end until eventually I do. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, man. We just hit 2,000 subs on this channel. Thank you guys so much for that. And if you still haven't hit that button, I would really appreciate it if y'all could. But anyways, man, without any further ado, it's time to get into this video.
Let's get it.
All right, man. So obviously free agency is going on right now. There's a lot of stuff happening with the league. A lot of guys moving around to new teams and whatnot. Luckily, I did find a scenario here on 2K that I was able to download, and it's got pretty much everything right here. A few things I am going to need to change. LaMelo Ball, for example, obviously just signed a max contract. I'm going to have to make that change later on because I actually can't do that in the offseason. But yeah, man, we pretty much got everything set up here. I went ahead and just skipped free agency. Pretty much all you need to know for the Hornets, man, is we didn't bring back Kelly Oubre. I think it's pretty realistic that he won't come back. We also have Miles Bridges here in the mix, which is very interesting. Obviously, you guys know why he missed a lot of time last season due to a case that he had. He's going to be suspended for the first 10 games of this upcoming season, but he is back in the mix here. The Hornets gave him his qualifying offer, so it's a 1-year, $7.9 million deal, which I know isn't what it says here. It says 9.5. I'm going to have to change that as well once the season starts. But yeah, man, he's back in the mix for this season. Now, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent next offseason, and I'm not going to lie, I probably don't want to bring him back, man. But we'll talk about that later on here in a second when I do the whole rotation breakdowns, all that kind of stuff. Just know that we're here in player progression now. LaMelo Ball went up 4 to a 90, which is a really good sign. Obviously, he's going to be the face of our future. Miles Bridges went up 1. We got Mark Williams up 2 to an 80. That's good to see. Gordon Hayward went down 1 to a 78. I think he's our only regression. Yeah, we got a couple +1s over here. We got a lot of young guys. So for the most part, man, we're trending in the right direction, which is good to see. Let's head into year 1, where, like I said, man, I'll give you guys the rotation breakdown, 3-year game plan, all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, man, so the one we got LaMelo Ball, obviously the face of our franchise. He just signed a 3rd-year max contract, which is 5 years, up to 260 M's. Unfortunately, this is the most money I can give him here in 2K, though. Still, man, it is a lot of money, but obviously it's worth it because, like I said, this is the face of our franchise, man, the guy that I'm trying to build a championship around. And taking a look at the stats, it's not hard to see why, man. 23 points last season, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, shot 38% from deep. He's a 6'7" point guard / shooting guard, really good size in the backcourt, really good facilitating. The defense looked better than I think a lot of people imagined when he came into the league. So he's progressing at a really high rate, man, up to 90 overall already at the age of 22. That's a really good sign for us. It kind of goes without saying, LaMelo's definitely going to be safe for this entire video. But I can't say the same about Terry Rozier, man. Our starting shooting guard, he is 29 years old. Obviously a bucket, man. 21 points last season, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, shot 33% from deep. Not the best, actually a drop off from the past few seasons, but still, the guy can score from all 3 levels, man. It's really just a matter of, do we need him on this team? We're starting that rebuild process. I'm still trying to be back for the next season or 2, so I think I'm going to trade him to a contender, a team that's looking for a spark plug off the bench or in the starting lineup. Doesn't really matter. Taking a look at his contract here, he's on the books for the next 2 seasons, team option on the 3rd year. So really this could just be like a 2-year rental. I think there's going to be a lot of teams interested in him. I don't know what those trade packages are going to look like just yet, but if I can get some draft capital, maybe a young player, something like that, then I think I'd rather have that at this point than Terry Rozier with this team specifically. Obviously, I do like me some Scary Terry, but again, he doesn't really fit what we need, so he's probably not going to be here on this team for very long. At the 3, we got Brandon Miller, who was the 2nd overall pick in this year's draft, and I'm not going to lie, man, I kind of wish they would have gone with Scoot Henderson, and it's not a knock on Brandon Miller. I think he's going to be really good in this league. He's obviously a pure scorer at all 3 levels. He's got good size at small forward, 6'9", a lot of upside on the defensive side of the ball as well. But to me, man, Charlotte had 2 options. I think they could have gone with the most upside, which would have been Scoot Henderson, or they could have gone with the better fit, which is Brandon Miller, because obviously they already have LaMelo Ball. Maybe they don't need Scoot. I get all of that. And to me, man, the Hornets are so early in the rebuild process, they probably should have just gone with the better upside, which would have been Scoot Henderson. I think he has the potential to be a franchise player. I don't know if I see that with Brandon Miller, but again, I still think he's going to be great, man. And at the end of the day, the Hornets have struggled in the past to build around their star players, Kemba Walker being a really good example before LaMelo Ball. They weren't able to surround him with other good young players who could fit his timeline. So while I do think they should have gone with Scoot Henderson, man, at the end of the day, Brandon Miller is somebody who I'm sure is going to be really good in the league and is going to have plenty of time to grow alongside LaMelo Ball. So I guess I can't be too mad at the pick. And of course, he is going to be safe for this entire video. I think that goes without saying. Then at the 4, we got Miles Bridges, and this is an interesting one, man. For those who follow the NBA a lot, obviously you guys know the whole situation with Miles Bridges, but for those that don't know, man, the quick summary is he had a felony domestic violence arrest with the mother of his 2 children. He ended up playing no contest and missed all of last season. And keep in mind, man, all of this happened right after a contract year for Miles Bridges, and in fact, it was a really good contract year. 20 points per game, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block around here. I mean, he really broke out with the Hornets that season. Then he got suspended by the NBA for 30 games. However, the NBA deemed he'd already served 20 of them from last season, so he's only going to miss the first 10 games of this upcoming season. So the Hornets did bring him back on a qualifying offer. That's why it says $7.9 million. And the next season, he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. And honestly, man, I don't want him back on my team. I just really don't. Is that realistic? I'm not too sure. But in this video, as the Charlotte Hornets GM, man, I just don't really want him on the squad. And as if this whole thing isn't already tough enough for me in this video, man, when you get a qualifying offer, you also get a full no trade clause for that season. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to trade Miles Bridges. Not like he has a whole lot of value at the end of the day, because obviously all the stuff going on off the court with them. But even if I were to, it's going to be very difficult to trade Miles. I think what's going to end up happening, man, is I'm going to have him this season, and then in the offseason, I'm just going to have to let him walk. I'm not going to get anything back, which is unfortunate. But like I said, man, as the GM of this video, that's just my personal decision. I don't really want him on the team, so it is what it is. But anyways, man, let's go ahead and keep this thing moving. At the 5, we got Mark Williams. He was the 15th overall pick in the 2022 draft class. He definitely came into the league a little bit raw, and I think that's why he got off to a slow start. But he showed some flashes down the stretch, man, and overall, I think he had a pretty good rookie season. I mean, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. He was super efficient from the floor, 64%. We'll definitely take that. Not at all a three-point threat. He's pretty much just a rim runner, but that's totally fine because I do think we're going to have a lot of shooters on this team. LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, already 2 guys who are good examples of that. I think just having a 7-foot center who can protect the rim is going to be really nice. Now, with that being said, I'm not ready to say he's my center of the future just yet, but I do think at least for the next season or 2, he's going to be safe. Again, he played pretty well towards the end of his rookie season, so I think that gave me a good amount of confidence. Taking a look at the bench now, we got Gordon Hayward, and he's on a big contract, man, but at least it's an expiring one. 31.5 M's this season. He's 33 years old, 78 overall. I think there would be some teams that would want him, 15 points per game last season, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Didn't shoot too well from deep, but I think generally is a pretty good three-point shooter. The main concern obviously is just, can he stay healthy? 50 games last season, 49 the year before that, 44, 52. It's not great, and again, he's 33 years old, so I don't think his value is going to be super high, but if I can find a team where it makes sense for them to take him on, then I'll definitely try to facilitate a trade, maybe for like some second-round picks, something like that. I'm not going to get a whole lot back, but again, it is an expiring deal, so if I can't find a trade, I'm not going to force it. I'll just hold on to him this season, and then I won't bring him back in the offseason. I wouldn't be too mad if that's what happened. We also got Nick Richards off the bench. He's a former second-round pick in 2020. Got off to a really good start to last season, kind of cooled off down the stretch, especially as Mark Williams started to get some more PT. But still, man, this was a really good year for him. I mean, 8 points per game, 6 rebounds, 1 block, shot 63% from the floor. It also says he shot 100% from deep, but that's a little bit misleading. He actually only went 1 for 1. So yeah, make no mistake, he's just like Mark Williams, man. He's more of a rim runner, somebody who goes to work down low, doesn't have any sort of range, anything like that, which I know I said wouldn't be a problem with Mark Williams, man, but if that's the case with my starter, I kind of want my backup to be able to space the floor, bring something a little bit different to the table. So while I do like Nick Richards, I mean, 25 years old, 78 overall, that's all pretty solid. I just don't know if I need him on this team because it's kind of redundant to have him and Mark Williams, if that makes sense. So I think eventually I am going to trade Nick Richards, probably for a backup center who's able to space the floor a little bit better. I think that's the game plan for right now. We also got PJ Washington in the mix. Now this one is a little bit weird. The Hornets gave him a qualifying offer, 8.5 mil for this offseason. So if any team gave him a high offer, then they of course would have to match that. We haven't seen that happen in real life just yet, so we did bring him back here on that $8.5 million deal. And like I said, I did download a scenario, so for some reason he's also here on a 2-year deal, which I don't know why, but in 2K I'm not able to change. Don't worry though, once we get to next offseason, I'll make sure he's a free agent. I'll have all of that set up. But anyways, man, PJ looked pretty solid last season. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Shot just a little bit below league average from deep, first time in his career. That's a little bit unfortunate, especially as a 6'7" power forward / center. You got to be able to space the floor, so hopefully that number will go up. But overall, man, I think PJ Washington is solid. Maybe he can replace Miles Bridges as my starting power forward next season. I'm not too sure, but I'm definitely not convinced that he's like a bona fide starter moving forward, nothing like that. And I also don't know how much he's going to progress in 2K. I mean, 25 years old, 76 overall, it's nothing too crazy. I'm cool with keeping him around as long as he doesn't ask for too much money. It's pretty much that simple. If he does this upcoming offseason and that stuff, I'm probably gonna have to let him walk. Then we got Cody Martin, obviously the twin brother of Caleb Martin, who was killing it with the Heat in this past year's playoffs. Unfortunately, Cody didn't have as good of a season. He actually only played 7 games due to a knee injury that he was dealing with. So honestly, man, I kind of ignored the stats here, especially the 3-point shooting. I think normally he tends to be a little bit better than that. But yeah, man, he's 28 years old, 75 overall. I think at this point, what you see is what you get. He's just a pretty solid wing player. He brings a little bit of 3-point shooting, a little bit of defense, a lot of hustle. I definitely think there is some value to keeping him on the team, especially when you take a look at his contract, man. About 7.5 this season, a little bit over 8 next season, and then we got a team option on that 3rd year, which is a little bit over 8.5. So it's not a crazy big contract, man. I think that's definitely fair for like a role player, which is what I see him as. So I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks around for this entire video, unless of course I need him for like like salary fill or something like that, then it just is what it is. He might get moved. And then the last guy in our rotation is Nick Smith Jr., who we got with the 27th pick in this year's draft. And honestly, man, I think that's really good value that late in the draft. I mean, Nick Smith Jr. to me is somebody who could have easily been a lottery player had he been able to stay healthy all of his rookie season at Arkansas. He missed most of the year due to a knee injury, but still, man, he's a pure scorer, 6'5" as a point guard, shooting guard. That's pretty good size in the backcourt. And at only 19 years old, man, he's got plenty of time to grow along guys like LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, and all the other young guys that we have on this team. So I think that was a good pickup, man. And hey, we need some guard minutes off the bench right away so we can actually get a little bit of PT as well. It seems like a really good situation for him, so hopefully he'll be able to thrive. I don't know if he'll ever become like a starter or anything like that for us, but if he can just be like an elite scorer off the bench, I think that would be really nice. I've seen him do really well in 2K Sim before, so I'm pretty sure he'll do just fine. I'm just not realizing we don't have Dennis Smith Jr. I guess we weren't able to bring him back. Again, I kind of had to skip a whole lot of free agency stuff. It was just a little bit messy because there's stuff going on like literally as I'm recording this video. But anyways, man, we got a lot of young guys here outside the rotation. JT Thor, 21 years old, second round pick in 2021. Super athletic, man, but really raw offensively. It's pretty simple for him and a lot of these guys, man. He's gonna have to progress if he wants to crack the rotation. That's really all it's gonna come down to. Same goes for James Bouknight, who was actually a really high pick, 11th overall in 2021. Honestly, man, I liked him a lot coming out of UConn, but he just hasn't been able to find his footing in the league so far. And the efficiency, man, has been really brutal. 36% shooting from the floor this season, 30% shooting from deep. I mean, that kind of explains why he hasn't had a real consistent role with the team just yet. And honestly, man, now that we got Nick Smith Jr., I don't think we're gonna need James Bouknight, so I'm not gonna release him, trade him for pennies on a dollar, nothing like that. But he probably is gonna be outside of a rotation unless he progresses, in which case I will give him some PT. That's all it's gonna come down to. Then we got another young guy in Bryce McGowens, man. You're gonna see a trend here. There are a lot of young guys on this team. I think at a certain point, we're going to have to really start to trim down this young core because there's just too many guys we don't have minutes for. Bryce McGowens, 20 years old, second round pick in 2022. He's kind of similar to Bouknight, man, super inefficient. And honestly, I don't think 2K is going to have him progress a whole lot. So I doubt he's ever going to crack the rotation for us. We also got Kai Jones, and you guys know I say this in pretty much every video. I went to Texas. I love all my Texas alums, man. So I do like me some Kai Jones, but it's just not a great fit on this team, man. Because like I was saying, Mark Williams is a center who doesn't space the floor. Nick Richards is a center who doesn't space the floor. Kai Jones is a center who does not space the floor. So we just got too many like interior centric centers, man. And at the age of 22, only 73 overall, I doubt Kai Jones is going to crack the rotation for us. Even though I do love my Longhorns, man, hook them. And then the last guy in a rotation is James Nahi, who probably will go to the G League. Second round pick in this year's draft, super raw offensively. Honestly, same as all the other centers, not really much range, which again, I think this team would really benefit from having a center who can space the floor. James Nahi is not that. Hopefully he's able to progress, man. Maybe he turns into something. I've seen that in a few sims, but if not, then he's really not going to be a part of our future plans. Speaking of future plans though, man, let's get into the 3-year game plan here for season number 1. I just want to sell my assets, you know, Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, guys like that. We don't really need them since we're so early in the rebuild. I'd rather trade them for draft capital, young players, stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to try to do. For season 2, man, I was just talking about it. I want to trim our young core. We got a lot of young players on this team, which is great. I mean, I'm going to give them their opportunities. We'll see who progresses. But the ones who don't, man, I mean, there's only so many minutes to go around. At a certain point, man, we're going to have to trade some of them away. It just is what it is. And then for season 3, man, buy if competitive. I don't know if we'll be competing for much by then. I'm fully prepared for this to be like a 4 or 5 year rebuild, something like that. But if we are in season 3 and we're starting to look competitive, then I'm definitely going to be willing to speed up the timeline, trade some of these young players, and bring in some guys that can help us win right now. We'll see how that goes. But anyways, man, that's a look at the 3-year game plan. Now it's time to look around for some trades, man. Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, they're definitely on the trading block. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, man, so I'm going to try to send Terry Rozier and Bryce McGowens to the Los Angeles Clippers for Marcus Morris Sr., Robert Covington, and a 2028 first round pick. The Clippers have needed more guard play for a while. You know, I think Russell Westbrook was solid for them towards the end of last season. I'm sure he's going to be their starting point guard moving forward. But off the bench, man, I mean, they really need some guard play. They need some scoring punch. I think Terry Rozier would be really nice for them. For us, man, we're taking on 2 expiring contracts here. I'm totally fine with that. I just want that first round pick, man. That's honestly all that I care about. So to me, this trade looks good, man. Let's go ahead and see if they will accept it. And they will. Terry Rozier, thank you for your service. And honestly, man, I think that's it for year 1. I tried to look around for a trade for Gordon Hayward. Couldn't find anything that made sense. Again, he's on an expiring deal here, so I'm fine with keeping him. He's going to be off the books this offseason once we don't bring him back. But anyways, man, taking a look at the rotation, we got LaMelo Ball, Cody Martin, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams. That's the starting lineup. Off the bench, we got Nick Richards, we got Gordon Hayward, PJ Washington, Nick Smith Jr., and James Bouknight, now getting a little bit of PT here. I don't think it's going to be a very good team, man, but that's kind of the hope, you know. I really want to be bad this season so we can get a good draft pick. Then after that, hopefully we can be a little bit more competitive. But anyways, man, it's finally time to get into this thing here. Let's go ahead and sim this regular season and see what it's looking like. All right, man, so we went 28 and 54, not very good, but again, that was the plan. Taking a look at the awards here, Trae Young MVP, Victor Wembanyama Rookie of the Year, Chris Paul Sixth Man of the Year. Do we have anything here that concerns us? Yeah, didn't really expect this to. Let's take a look at these All-NBA awards, man. Anything for, I don't know, maybe like LaMelo Ball. Yeah, there we go, All-NBA third team. We'll definitely take that. That's a really good sign. We'll take a look at stats here in a second. We also got Brandon Miller All-Rookie first team. That makes sense as well. That's honestly all I wanted to see. Our two main guys of the future. It looks like they're playing well, so that's nice. We have the sixth worst record in the league. Actually, the Milwaukee Bucks 24 and 58. What is going on here in Milwaukee, man? Yeah, they got everybody. I am so surprised by that. Don't really know what happened there, but either way, let's focus on the Hornets. We were bad. We're going to get a good pick. That's really all that matters here. Taking a look at the stats, man, LaMelo Ball led the way, 25 points, 5 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals. We round up around here. How do you shoot from deep? 39%. We'll definitely take that. Brandon Miller knocking them things down, man. 41% from deep. He ended up averaging 21 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. That's really encouraging, man. Miles Bridges, don't really care a whole lot about his stats. Let me go ahead and just show him for those who care. 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, man. I mean, like I said, man, he's an unrestricted free agent this offseason. I don't think I'm going to bring him back. It just is what it is. Taking a look at the rest of this here, though, Mark Williams, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks. That's good to see. Still not much of a three-point shooter, I'd imagine. I mean, hey, he was at least shooting them, so I guess that's nice. Progression and whatnot. The last guy I'm interested in is also Nick Smith Jr., 8 points, 1 assist, 43% shooting from the floor, and shot league average from deep, man. We'll definitely take that. I mean, overall, we just got so many young guys here on this team. Make sure to pause it if you guys want to take a look at all these stats here. But let's go ahead and keep this thing moving, man. We're going to sim this whole playoffs because it does not matter to me. All I care about is that draft lottery where hopefully we will get a top pick. And looks like it's the Lakers and the Cavs. Okay, LeBron versus his old team, man. It's the Cavs who won it all in 7. Evan Mobley, Finals MVP. Shout out to him. But now it's time for the moment of truth, man. We're here at the draft lottery, ready to see what pick we're going to get in this year's draft. It says our pick is supposed to go to the Spurs. It's actually top 14 protected, so I'm pretty sure it's going to convey. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. We're just going to rip the Band-Aid off. Are we going to move up in the draft? It does not look like we are. Tough. We're falling down to number 7. It's unfortunate, man, but still, it's a pretty good pick at the end of the day. I guess we'll take it, man. Let's go to draft night and see what we can do. All right, man, so I'm here with the 7th overall pick in the draft, and obviously, I don't know a whole lot about this draft class. A lot of these guys haven't even played college ball yet, so I mean, it's super hard to tell who's legit, who's not. But I actually do know a good amount about Ron Holland because he committed to Texas at first. Again, I'm a Texas guy. He ended up decommitting, man. I'm a little bit salty, but either way, I know he's super athletic and he's really good in a fast break setting. I think he'd be a really good running mate with LaMelo Ball. I think that would be a great pairing, super fun to watch. And like I said earlier, man, I'm pretty sure I'm not going to bring back Miles Bridges, so this is our power forward of the future. Ron Holland, man, welcome to the Hornets. All right, man, so I'm here in free agency, and we have some money to spend. I think I want to use it on DeJounte Murray. You know, he's obviously with the Atlanta Hawks right now. I don't think things are working out too well. They're talking about maybe trading Trae Young. They just got a new head coach. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of question marks there in Atlanta. To me, man, if he comes over to Charlotte, I think he's joining a really good situation. You got LaMelo Ball, obviously. DeJounte Murray can fit in perfectly at the 2 spot. We'd have Brandon Miller at the 3. We'd have Ron Holland at the 4. Mark Williams at the 5. That's a really good starting lineup of the future, man. I think DeJounte Murray would be a nice veteran guy there as well. So let's try to pull this off, man. Luckily, DeJounte doesn't have any offers. This is the most amount of money I can give him, 31.9 M's. It's a 3-year deal. Let's go ahead and see if he will say yes to it. And it looks like he will, man. DeJounte Murray, welcome to the Hornets. And unfortunately, man, that means we can't bring back PJ Washington. It is what it is. That means we need a backup power forward, and I think Kelly Olynyk would be a really good fit. You know, I've said it before, I need some more front court players who can space the floor. Kelly Olynyk can obviously do that. So I'm going to try to sign him here on a 1-year, $4.5 million deal. It's probably just going to be a 1-year rental since he's 33 years old. Let's go and see if he will say yes, and it looks like he will. Cool. All right, man, so we're here in player progression, and we got a lot of great arrows here. That's definitely good to see. LaMelo Ball up 4 to a 94, man. That's pretty crazy. DeJounte Murray stays put at an 87. That's totally fine. I think that's going to be a really good backcourt pairing. We also got Brandon Miller, man, up 5 to an 85. We love to see that as well. We got Mark Williams up 2 to an 82. Nick Smith Jr. up 3 to a 77. That's cool. It even says 78 overall there in the top right corner, so we'll definitely take that. And yeah, man, we got Kelly Olynyk down 1 to a 76. That's fine. He'll still be a nice backup power forward. JT Thor +1, James Nahi +2. We still got a really young team here, man, but we're trending in the right direction. You'll love to see it. Let's head into season 2. We're honestly, man, I think it's time to make a playoff push. Let's get into it. And actually, man, before we take a look at the rotation here, I think I'm going to sign Alec Burks to a 1-year, $3.99 million deal. Right now, we got James Bouknight as our backup shooting guard, and I'm not too confident in him. So I think bringing in Burks is going to be really nice, man. He's obviously a bucket getter. 33 years old, similar to Kelly Olynyk. It's just going to be a 1-year rental. final, but I think he'll be solid for us, man. So let's go ahead and make that happen. And honestly, man, I think that's it for year 2. We got LaMelo Ball, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Miller, Ron Holland, and Mark Williams. It's going to be a fun, fast-paced, athletic starting lineup. I think that'll be really cool. Off the bench, we still got Nick Smith Jr. He's going to be a spark plug for us. We got Nick Richards. We also got Kelly Olynyk, Alec Burks, and we also got Cody Martin rounding out the rotation. I'm not expecting a whole lot this season, man, but if we can make the playoffs and then maybe even win a playoff series, that would be really good. Let's see if we can make that happen, man. We're going to sim this regular season and see what it's looking like. Alright, man, so the boys are hooping this season 55-27. That's definitely a huge step in the right direction. Super excited about that. Not sure what seed we are, but we'll find that out here in a second. Luka Doncic's MVP, as you would expect, putting up crazy numbers here. Taking a look at the rest of this, Brandon Podziemski, Rookie of the Year. That's pretty wild. I guess he didn't play last season, but 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. Shout out to him, man. I'm a Warriors fan, so I hope that happens. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of this here. Nothing that concerns us. That's totally fine. Let's take a look at these All-NBA awards, man. Do we have anything here for maybe like LaMelo Ball? Actually, not this time. That's actually pretty surprising. But let's go ahead and keep this thing going here. We did get Ron Holland, all-rookie first team, so that's good to see. Let's go ahead and keep it moving. So we were the number 3 seed this season, man. We will definitely take that home court advantage. That's super exciting. Taking a look at the stats, man, LaMelo Ball led the way as you would expect. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals. Round up around here. Shot 43% from deep, man. We definitely will take that. And he wasn't the only one who was knocking them things down, man. Brandon Miller also shot 43% from deep. He averaged 20 points, also 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. We had DeJounte Murray shooting that thing well, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. Like, come on, man. This team is deep, bro. Ron Holland, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Did a little bit of everything, all rookie first team, and he shot a little bit below league average, but I guess we'll still take that. Nick Smith Jr. looked really good in his second year, still providing a spark off the bench. I mean, overall, man, we got a lot of guys here who are contributing, so that's really good to see. But let's try to turn that into some playoff success, man. We're going up against the Pistons in the first round. I'm actually going to go ahead and shorten the rotation right now, man. Might as well. Let's go ahead and make it a 9, man. Let me go ahead and just mess around with this here for a second. Like, I think that looks pretty good to me, man. Just gave some more minutes to the starters, essentially. Nothing too crazy here. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. Can we win our first playoff series? Let's go ahead and find out as we're going up against the Pistons in the first round. It's Kay Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Chris Middleton now. That's pretty interesting, man. They also got Marvin Bagley III and Nicholas Claxton. Wow. This is a pretty good team in Detroit, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit worried. Definitely glad I shortened the rotation. But let's get into it here as we lose game 1. Okay. Okay, we bounce right back. That's good to see. We're up 2-1. Can we go up 3-1 here? No, we can't. Please don't go down 3-2, man. Yeah. All right. So we're in a little bit of trouble here in the first round, man. This is a really good Pistons team. Another young team that's doing their thing. So shout out to them. But we are going to shorten this just a little bit more, man. I don't want to take away minutes from Nick Smith Jr. Because per 36, yeah, man. He is hooping right now. So let me go ahead and bump this up to 40 for LaMelo. We will do the same for DeJounte and Brandon Miller. We'll get up to 38. And then I guess we'll give just 1 more minute to Nick Smith Jr., bro. Why not? That looks pretty good to me. Is that enough to win 2 straight games? Let's go ahead and find out here as we're just going to sim this thing normally here. And we lost. Tough. All right, man. So we had a pretty good second season. I mean, 55 wins, 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. That's all great. Unfortunately, though, we weren't able to win a playoff series as it looks like it's the Spurs winning it all, bro. Victor Wembanyama leading them to a championship in year 2. I know Spurs fans would love to see that. Like I said earlier, man, I did the Spurs rebuild. It's a part of this whole lottery rebuild series that I've been doing. And let's just say it took me more than 2 years to win a championship. So I guess they're doing something right that I didn't. But anyways, man, let's go to move on to season 3. So it looks like we have pick number 27 in the draft, which from my understanding is top 14 protected. So it is going to go to the Spurs. Hopefully I got that right. I'm not a pick expert, man, but either way, we got a lot of young players on this team. I really don't even need this pick, so I am going to give it to the Spurs off camera here. Let's go ahead and skip the draft. All right, man, so I'm here in free agency, and we got to replace Alec Burks and Kelly Olynyk. Both of them were 33 years old. Like I said, 1-year rentals. So I'm looking for a backup power forward, again, someone who can space the floor, and I think Trey Lyles would be a really nice fit, man. 29 years old. I can actually give him a 2-year deal. I don't think it'll regress too much over the next few seasons. So let's go ahead and do 5.25, man. Will he say yes to this? And it looks like he will. Cool. And now I'm looking for like a backup point guard / shooting guard. We got a little bit of money to spend, man. I'm going to try to go for Spencer Dinwiddie here. We already got Nick Smith Jr., who's obviously going to be like our scoring guard off the bench. I think Dinwiddie would be more of like a defensive minded guard, so I think that would be a really nice pairing. Let's try to get this thing done, man. 18.25, just a 1-year deal since he's 32 years old. I'm not sure how much he's going to regress, but I might bring him back afterwards. Let's see if he will say yes to this thing, and it looks like he will. Cool. So because of those 2 deals, we can't bring back James Bouknight. I mean, that's totally fine. He fell out of the rotation, out of the way, so I'm honestly not too worried about it. Alright, man, taking a look at player progression, LaMelo Ball stayed put at a 94, but it says 95 in the top right corner. Either way, man, he's one of the best players in the game at this point, so I'm definitely happy with that. Brandon Miller, bro, up 5 to a 90. He continues to increase at a really high rate. I mean, we got two guys in the 90 club now. That's a really dynamic duo. We also got DeJounte Murray up 1 to an 88. We got Mark Williams up 1 to an 83. Ron Holland, bro, up 4 to an 81. That's a really good sign as well. Spencer Dinwiddie went down 2 to an 81. That's totally fine. Honestly, not a surprise because, again, he's 32 years old. Nick Smith Jr. up 2 to a 79. We'll take that. And, yeah, man, just a lot of green arrows here. Cody Martin up 1 to a 76. We'll take that as well. Overall, man, I think it's really time for us to make a deep playoff run. Maybe compete for a championship. I'm not too sure. But let's go to season 3 and see what it's looking like. And honestly, man, I don't want to make any changes here. We got the same starting lineup: LaMelo Ball, DeJounte Murray, Brandon Miller, Ron Holland, and Mark Williams. Off the bench now, we got Spencer Dinwiddie. I think he'll be really nice for us. We also got Nick Smith Jr., we got Trey Lyles, Nick Richards, and Cody Martin. That's a 10-man rotation. Now that I think about it, man, this should definitely be a 60-win team, and honestly, a team that should be competing for a championship. So let's get right into it, man. We're going to sim this regular season and see what it's looking like. Alright, man, so we went 62-20 this season, another step in the right direction, and another MVP for Luka Doncic here. Let's take a look at the rest of these awards. Do we have anything here that concerns us? Steve Clifford, Coach of the Year, we definitely will take that. Like I said, man, 62-20, a really good season for us. We didn't get Exec of the Year, though, but that's okay. Let's take a look at these All-NBA teams, man. LaMelo Ball, All-NBA second team, that's good to see. And Brandon Miller, man, All-NBA third team, we'll definitely take that. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of these here, man. Do we have anything else that concerns us? Does not look like it. Oh well. So we were the top team in the Eastern Conference, man. That's definitely a really good sign. And taking a look at the stats here, it was actually Brandon Miller who led the way in scoring. 23 points to go along with 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Come on now, man. How do you shoot from deep? 46%. Yeah, man, we got some shooters on this team. I mean, our top 4, all of them have been lighting it up. LaMelo Ball also did his thing. 22 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists, 1 steal. DeJounte Murray, nice little 17, 4, and 6. He also had 2 steals. I mean, we got defenders, we got shooters, we got athleticism. Ron Holland looked good in his second season. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. Come on, bro. This team is filthy. Make sure to pause it if you want to take a look at the stats here. But let's get into this playoff run, man. Like I said, we're the #1 seed, so definitely contending for a title. It looks like we're going up against the Bulls in the first round. Okay, taking a look at the matchup here. They got Jamal Murray, Modest Buzella, Zach LaVine, Bol Bol, and Basala Bagayoka. Probably pronounced that wrong, but either way, he was a top pick in this past year's draft. What is it, like 2025, 26? I'm not too sure. But yeah, man, he's definitely nice. And overall, this is a really good team. But I think that we're better, man. I'm pretty sure. So let's go ahead and get into it here. We're going to take this game by game per usual as we win game 1. Okay. We're up 2-0 now. It's I was going to say, we're not going to clean sweep them there, but we're up 3-1. Can we get a little gentleman sweep? Yes, we can. Okay. So we won our first playoff series, man. Finally, it took 3 years. But we're here in the second round going up against the Indiana Pacers. Let's take a look at the matchup here. They got Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Denny Avdia, Giannis Antetokounmpo at the 4. That's very scary, man. And then they got Zeke Nahi at the 5. Yikes, bro. This is going to be a really tough matchup here. I definitely need to shorten the rotation right here, right now, because I'm pretty scared about this team, or scared of this team. Let's go ahead and make this a 9-man rotation. We're going to knock this down to 10 minutes for Nick Richards. And yeah, the rest of these guys, man, you gotta lose some PT. I'm sorry. This looks pretty good to me, man. Pretty much just gave a lot of minutes to the starters here. The bench, not so much, but it is what it is, bro. Let's see if we can advance to the conference finals. We're going up against the Pacers here. We're gonna take this game by game as we lose game 1. Come on, bro. Okay, way to bounce back there. Can we go up 2-1? Yes, we can. Can we go up 3-1? No, we can't. Tough. Okay, please don't go down 3-2 this time, man. Yes, okay. Please, no game 7, man. All right. Okay, man, let's just go Simcast. Honestly, there's not a whole lot I can do here because I already messed around with the rotation a lot. So is this going to be enough, man? Can we make it out of this thing? We got to make a run, and it looks like we did. It's kind of back and forth, man, but we did hold on. Okay. Wow, that was pretty crazy, but we're here in the conference finals, and it looks like we're going up against the Atlanta Hawks. Surprise, surprise. Checking out this matchup here, man. They got Trae Young, Max Christie, AJ Griffin, Sadiq Bey, and Usman Garuba. Okay. I mean, honestly, bro, the last team that we faced was better, but it's 2K, and as you guys know, or if you don't know, 2K loves the Atlanta Hawks, so I'm still a little bit worried here, but let's go ahead and get into it as we win game 1. Okay, that's a good start. We're up 2-0 now. Oh, is it going to be that easy, bro? Okay, I was going to say, we're not going to sweep them, but there we go, man. It's a gentleman's sweep. We definitely will take that. And here we are in the NBA Finals going up against the Houston Rockets, man. Alrighty, let's go ahead and take a look at this matchup here. They got Amen Thompson. They got Jalen Green, who is having a very interesting day on social media as I'm recording this Sunday evening. But anyways, they also got Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. It's a really good young core, man. Like I said, I'm doing a lottery rebuild series in order from all the draft picks. So I did the Spurs, I'm doing the Hornets right now. The Rockets are coming up, man, right after the Trailblazers. And honestly, I'm really excited for that video. That should be a fun one. But anyways, man, all that matters right now is we're trying to win this championship. So let's go ahead and get into it. As we won game 1, okay. We're up 2-0 now. Bro, no way it's going to be that easy. Yes, it is. The Charlotte Hornets have won a championship. Wow. Dominating the Houston Rockets. LaMelo Ball Finals MVP. 24 points, 4 rebounds, 15 assists, 3 steals. Shot 40% from deep. Come on now, man. 95 overall. Yeah, they didn't have anyone who could match up with them. LaMelo Ball, bro, shout out to him. And honestly, man, taking a look at this roster, I mean, this team could be good for a very long time. LaMelo Ball, 24 years old. Brandon Miller, 23 years old. DeJounte Murray, the older guy, 29 though. Still plenty of good years left in him. Mark Williams, 23. I mean, we got some veterans, Spencer Dinwiddie, but Ron Holland, 20 years old. Like, bro, this is a really good young team. Nick Smith Jr. as well. I think this turned out really good, man. We built a pretty fun team here in Charlotte. But that's going to do it for me, man. If you guys enjoyed this video, please do leave a like and subscribe again. We just hit 2,000 subs on this channel, so thank you guys so much for that. And if you haven't subscribed just yet, I'd really appreciate it if you could. This has been 2KJ. Blessings.